What happens when a group of lifelong besties trades middle school crushes for midlife hot flashes? You get a lot of laughs, a little bit of venting, and a whole lot of heart. We've survived cross-country moves, career shifts, and changing gene sizes together. Now we're tackling the invisible years, from the frustration of medical mysteries to the joy of deep-rooted sisterhood. We're here to brainstorm, de-stress, and remind you that you aren't going through this alone. Because at the end of the day, we're more than just a support group. We are friends, period.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the conversation. Pull up a chair and join us. We're friends, period, where nothing is off limits and everything is real. We're lifelong friends navigating this stage of life together, and we're glad you're here with us. Before we dive in, just a quick reminder, we're sharing our personal journeys, not professional advice. We aren't doctors or experts, and we're not sponsored by any of the products we talk about. Please use your own judgment and always check with your doctor before trying new supplements or health routines. So glad you're here. Pull up a chair. I'm Tara.
I'm Erin.
I'm Colleen.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Lisa.
Great to see everybody.
I know.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
How's everybody?
Exciting stuff going on for you, Tara, right? Big
Yeah.
change.
It's
Family.
been a few weeks. High school graduation 2 weeks ago and middle school graduation today. All the graduations. I realized 4 years from now I'm going to have college and high school the same year. Didn't do very
We missed you last time, but we're glad you're back, and we're glad it was for a good reason. Having so many celebrations for your family, so congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So we've
And
had.
I was just going to say that Lisa's had some exciting stuff going on in her personal life. Big move, although not completely transitioned yet.
Yeah, little move every day. I've been using that for our movement challenge. For our 30-day friends period challenge isn't so much picking up weights, but picking up really heavy moving boxes. Trying not to scuff up the walls in the first week of the new house, but I have not succeeded. So we'll figure that out.
That's why there's paint.
That's right. And they left us leftover paint, so I probably will
There you
be
go.
touching things up at some point.
Perfect.
Yeah. So,
Well, if you need reinforcements, we'll come down and help you paint.
love it. I love it. I actually had someone reach out remembering that I was moving and wishing us luck and really offering to help us move.
Wow.
I was like,
That's a good
it
person.
was someone that like I don't talk to very often. We work together. We're friends at work. But as a teacher, I'm not there. So it was really like a genuine offer. And I was like, what is this? Southern hospitality? What is happening? Because my family was like, I'm busy that day. It is. And they were like, no, I can't help. I'm like, okay, cool.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't have you have some family down there. Not all of your family is down there. So
No.
I'm sure the ones that are up here would tell you they would have been there in a heartbeat if it weren't for all the distance. But
Absolutely.
that'll be up to you to decide if it's bull crap or not.
Exactly. My dad still calls one of the rooms his room. What color is the room? And then someone said, are you going to go visit? And he goes, no. I was like, oh, good to know. I'll definitely call it your room. He has a suite upstairs. It's all his. And
No, you said you have a month left on the lease, so you have
Mhm.
like a little overlap, right? Does that mean you've been down there a year already?
It'll be a year for my husband Saturday.
That's incredible. It
That is
doesn't feel like
crazy.
it's been that long.
I came down 3 days later. So
Wow.
week is a year.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Been very, very fast. We're sad to leave the area, but excited for what's next. So
That's great.
yeah. So what do we want to talk about tonight, ladies?
Well, it's been a minute since we've done this, so I think it's been so much time that we've all come up with our own little body complaints and issues, and we've been secretly chatting on our text thread, which is also known as the therapy hotline for me. And I threw one out there, which we should start with, but we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. I was saying that I just have to pee all the time. And I was like, this is so ridiculous. I I don't even know what to do about it. So I started doing some deep dive on the Google machine because what else do we do? And it said like a drop in estrogen level will cause that. Um, I don't think it's a major health concern. I think it's just annoying. And I have the most supportive husband, but even he, after like the 10th time that I go when we're out in public, he like rolls his eyes at me. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Got to
Right.
do it. So, anybody else sharing that with me?
Mine's the opposite. Mine's at nighttime. But I think that's years of training because as a teacher, you can't leave the classroom unless you have someone else in the room with you. But I do find myself like during the summers or on the weekends, I feel like I have to pee all the time. But definitely at night, I wake up, I'm going to say every hour and a half. And I don't know if that's because I'm drinking too much water or because I'm just waking up. I haven't figured out the puzzle there yet, but yes, I definitely am going a lot.
I think I shared this in our group chat. So I definitely feel like I am needing to pee more than I ever was. And I also feel like I'm good. I can hold it. Like I'll be at work and like, nah, I like home is only 25 minutes away. I'll be fine. Yeah, let me tell you, I'm running in the door and I'm like, why do I do this? Like
Yes.
not every single time, but I'm like,
Not good.
clearly my ability to hold it is not as good as it once was.
I was at I had the luckiest experience last weekend. I had an invitation to go to the World Cup game that was in Foxborough, the opening game. And it was amazing. We had such a fun time. And the house that the people who invited us rented was only a mile from the stadium, which was great in theory. But getting out into traffic, it took like 25 minutes because we had to go so far the wrong way and kind of turn around through a neighborhood. So it was like a 25-minute ride. And it was so painful because there were 6 of us in the car. And in my head, I'm like, I am not going to ask them to pull over. I am not going to ask them to pull over. But I was in such pain when we got there. I was like, this is so unfair. And that was after going so many times. I mean, I get it. Like I was having a couple alcoholic beverages. I was drinking water. All those things contribute, but it honestly doesn't matter. I'm not having, I was working today and just drinking water and, my mushroom coffee. And it still doesn't matter what I'm drinking. I just have to go.
All the time.
Sorry,
Colleen, you haven't started any like new
real life
medications
calling.
or like supplements or like changed anything else up, added something to
No,
your diet?
no, honestly, this has probably been a couple of years, but it's only getting worse and worse. And when it first started, I did go to the doctor and I was like, help me figure this out. And they ran a few tests and they said everything physically is fine. So I'm starting to think that it's just hormonal because everything I'm reading says it's hormonal.
That can make sense.
Yeah.
Add that to the list. I feel
I
like
know.
everything is hormonal. I mean, good
like-
grief.
When it all comes down to like, it's hormonal, you're like, great. Could someone actually figure out how we fix this? Because we're all having those changes. I don't get it. And as
Right.
we're doing this, and this is not queued up, I didn't mention this to anyone else. If anyone else can notice that my face is turning red, that's the hormonal hot flash that's coming in right
Hot flash.
because I'm only thinking right now about the show notes. Like, how many times can we say pee in one episode? But also, like, I was wearing a sweatshirt because it was pouring rain out when I moved to come make this episode. And now I'm like dying. So,
Is this the first like live on air hot flash? That
I think so. Like, I need
right.
hair. I don't. I'm a mess.
See, and that hasn't affected me yet. I haven't started dealing with that yet. But I will say that I'm more sensitive to temperature than ever before. If I get hot, I get really hot. If I get cold, I get really cold. So I'm feeling the extremes more, and I can't stand the feeling of being hot. I just I just start sweating profusely. But it's more about actual temperature. The hot flash thing hasn't happened yet.
I'll let you all
Is
know.
that normal?
Shortly.
I'm always afraid to be too hot. Like, I feel like I underdress because I never want to be, I'd much rather be cold than be hot. So I will underdress every time because I don't want to. I never want to like be in that moment where all of a sudden you start to either like, oh my gosh, it's too hot. Now it's hot. Now I'm sweating. Now I'm having a hot flash. It's just, it feels like it all comes at once.
I'm the
mean,
queen of dressing in layers. I dress in like 23 layers because I
Yeah.
want the ability to be warm and then like peel things off. So yeah, that's
Yep.
my
Same.
superpower.
Same.
I made the silly mistake of having a hoodie on instead of a zip up.
Zip up.
Oh well, we're all
Mm.
here.
I feel like somebody's just like turned my thermostat up like maybe 5 degrees. Like
Mm.
going into last winter, I was like, I don't think I need a coat anymore. Like I did eventually need a coat, but I mean, normally I was always cold and I had like shawls and extra sweaters and stuff at work. And now I'm like, I'm good.
I feel like it goes like, do you guys remember? For me, it was middle school. My mother would always be like, I need you to put on a coat before you go. The girl grew up in the Northeast, like it snows.
Mhm.
And I never wanted to zip up my coat. And then there was a huge chunk of adult life where like I wore a scarf every day and I never took the scarf off. I just loved it. And I was always cozy in my clothes. And now I'm like, I can't believe I moved to the South. I moved to the South where it's hot all the time. And I got my first fireplace in our new house. And I was like, what is happening?
You're gonna have to turn on the air conditioner to use the fireplace.
Exactly. I don't know. It'll probably never go on, but it's there and it's pretty.
You
But I
could get
just
one of those screensavers for the TV that makes it look like you're having a fire on your TV, but no
Right.
heat involved. There you go.
The only way I'll have
Analogy.
crazy.
Lisa, you mentioned that your pee problem is mostly at night and you're waking up and needing to pee.
Yeah.
I read not too long ago that I think we all have the assumption that we're waking up at night because we have to pee. Our bodies are waking us up. The opposite is actually true. We're realizing that we have to pee because we've woken up. So something else is waking us up, and then we're like, "Oh, I'm awake now. I might as well go pee."
Have we figured out what that is? Like what's waking us up?
Right. Well, exactly. And I know I've gone through sleep trouble. I'm in a phase now where I'm actually sleeping better, I think, because I started HRT and it is helping. Because I was getting like really bad hot flashes and just I think like with stress and just like all the things. Like I just couldn't quiet my mind, and I would sleep in little doses, and then something would wake me up, my brain would turn on, and that would be it. But I don't know. Am I the only one? I just haven't. Like I feel like I'm back to sleeping better, but it was horrible for a while there.
Is this
What do they
too
call that,
personal?
infants? Sleep regression? Like when they go through those phases?
No, that's
Yeah.
good.
I'm going through some sleep regression.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is too personal to ask, but how long have you been doing the HRT?
I actually tried it last year about this time, maybe a little more like late spring or early spring last year. I don't remember exactly, but and it's super low dose, so I was just kind of trying it out, and I wasn't really noticing that much of a difference at the time. So I was like, I don't know. I felt like I am sort of young to be needing it, so like on the younger side, I think, relatively. So I'm like, okay, well, if I'm not really noticing a difference, then maybe I should just wait and try to, just hold off and then do it later if I need it. So then I stopped it, and as time went on, the hot flashes kind of came back with a vengeance, and I just felt generally worse, like my joints, just like in general, I just felt worse. So I just started doing it again maybe about a month ago.
Okay.
And yeah, and I think I'm feeling better. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah, I'm gonna do it, just see how it goes. And
I've just heard such
I can
mixed
report back.
reactions about it, so I haven't tried that.
Yeah.
I haven't gone there yet. The one thing that's worked for me for sleep, and sleep has never been my biggest issue, but I do find that I can't shut my brain off, and I was starting to wake up a lot, and when I woke up, I couldn't fall back asleep. So my doctor suggested the magnesium, which I guess is like the number one recommendation to start like something non-invasive and not very severe. So honestly, that was enough for me. I take that like half an hour before I want to go to sleep, or an hour,
Yeah.
if I remember. I guess you're supposed to do it like an hour, but, and it does help me
Yeah.
sleep through the night. But I'm still, if something wakes me up, like the other night, if something actively wakes me up, I have a really hard time falling back asleep. But the
Yeah.
magnesium seems to help me go to sleep and stay asleep.
I
But I'm
second that.
assuming,
I've been taking it too.
I've been
I'm
taking it for about
assuming,
5 years, so I mean, or more,
oh,
I
okay.
think. So if my sleep has been affected, I don't know if it's helped or not helped because I've been taking it for so long at this point, but I think it helps, I guess.
My sister had suggested melatonin years and years ago, and I honestly hated the way that that made me feel. And I'm not very patient. If I try something and I don't like it, I don't give it a chance. So I took it once. It made me feel kind of yucky, and I stopped. But the magnesium, I don't feel like there's any negative side effects. But I'm sure, Lisa, you seem like someone who would have tried that. I guess I'm guessing it hasn't worked for you.
So I had a new doctor since I moved, and she actually recommended it. And I had been doing a little research right around the appointment. And she had also given me some other supplement. I honestly can't remember what it was. I think it's right when we first started recording. And I took her supplement and the magnesium. I think I started them at the same time. And the first few nights I had really bizarre nightmares. And I was
Oh,
like, that's not fun.
mm-mm.
So I stopped with her supplement and I stopped with magnesium. And then I was trying something called Moon Brew, it has a lot of magnesium in it, and it's kind of like almost like a chocolate shake before you go to bed. So of course I would try that. And
Did you put whipped cream on it? Come on, be
I
honest.
tried to. No, it seemed to work for a while, but it was again one of those like subscriptions that cost a lot of money, and you have to make sure you order it in time. And I have always, and this has been for everything in my life, I have a really high tolerance, or I get a high tolerance quickly. So I find that something will work for a little while and then it automatically stops. So I just restarted the magnesium at the beginning of the week.
Okay.
And no, I have nightmares again. I wake up now, instead of every 3 hours, I wake up every hour and a half.
Oh, that is so weird. So obviously not everybody reacts to the same thing the same way, but
Yeah.
that's awful because it
Can I
really
ask what kind of
helps me.
magnesium you're taking, Lisa?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Because I think that can make a difference. I mean, unless you might be sensitive to magnesium in general.
I think it's
Mm.
magnesium glycinate.
Mhm.
And there were
Yeah.
2 different kinds, and the research that I did, one of them talked about having low levels of magnesium, and then the other one talked more specifically to, like, brain health and sleep. So I went
Mhm.
with the other one, and the way that it's dosed, which is gonna bring me to my other question that I have for Erin, is 1 capsule in the morning and 2 capsules at night.
Oh, weird.
Um,
Mine's
Interesting.
just right before bed, and I think my doctor recommended, I could confirm this, but I think it's 400 milligrams.
400
Yeah.
is
That's
the standard.
my doctor was, like, very specific about the
Yep.
milligrams and, how to take it, and mine's just before bed, 1 tablet, easy peasy. I can send you a picture of it if
Yeah.
you take it or leave it, but it has worked out really well for me. Okay, so this is where we have to be real, and I can't help but tell you that what your story just made me think of was you rewind it, I don't know, how old are we? Maybe rewind it like 35 years, and all I can picture you is holding a chocolate Frosty and dipping your fries in it.
Of course.
Yes.
100%.
She's talking
Actually,
about the chocolate drink, and I'm like, I can't get fries out of
Yep.
my head now.
the best part is I wasn't feeling well these last couple days. Don't know why, just something isn't sitting right with me. Nothing to do with sleep, just like during the day. And on my husband's way home, he was like, "What are we having for dinner?" Blah, blah, blah. So we ordered out, and fast food, but like a good fast food because they have better ingredients at this place. And with each meal, you could get a shake. And he was like, "I don't want to drink." And I was like, "That's okay. I'll have 2." So I had a milkshake before I came here, and the second one is waiting for me when we get home.
Oh, I
I
love
love
it.
that.
Yay.
That's amazing.
So that
You
hasn't
know,
changed.
it's funny because Lisa is so good at guiding this challenge thing, and I have to say that I'm terrible at following through with your prompts, even though they're amazing. And when you say things like, what's your, a great childhood memory, that should have come up, but it took seeing you and hearing you talk about chocolate beverage for me to have it. So thanks for bringing that back. That was fun.
Absolutely. Oh, and just to keep all of our listeners apprised in this move, yesterday I found a box that the mailing label was from December 7th, 1995. So that would have been our freshman year in college, and my parents were clearly sending me a care package, but it is filled with notes. And one of the oldest ones I found was from middle school. And I sent a couple different ones to different people that I found. I found a notebook of just me writing. I found the program for our senior night and our graduation. And I was like, oh my God. Like,
That's so
That's
amazing.
you want
awesome.
to go down memory
I-
lane? This is how you do it.
I have a shoebox too of notes that I've had forever, just like in my closet, and it's so funny. I haven't looked in there in a while, but occasionally I'll go in and just pull one out, and it's like this little time capsule into everything that I've forgotten, but then all of a sudden I'm transported into, oh yeah, I liked this person, and like, Megan liked that person, and like this was like the little the little drama going on with like so and so in class or whatever. So
Yeah.
that would be
Lisa,
fun
also-
sometime on this to read a note,
Lisa also
read it live.
proved to me that I would be a terrible detective because she sent me a copy of a note that I wrote, and I wasn't even convinced that I wrote it because I don't even recognize my own handwriting, so I'd be terrible at.
I was going to say that because Lisa also sent me one, and I wrote a little note at the bottom, and it's like I must have been trying to figure out what my handwriting style was. Like it was very, because I was like, who is this? That's so weird that you say that. But Erin, one of our listeners, said we need to bust out the shoebox.
Oh, have I mentioned the shoebox before? This is where
I
my
think you
brain,
have.
like I forget what I talk about. So yeah, I probably repeated myself, but
Getting back to sleep, Tara, I have a question for you because you've
Yeah.
been through a lot of life events with your family over the last month or two. Does that affect your sleep?
It does, primarily because it affects my anxiety, which affects my sleep.
Mhm.
So, so to your point, like if I do wake up, I can't turn my brain back off because the to-do
Mhm.
list just keeps going and going. And there was a period of time leading up to graduation, probably just a mixture of like, this is my first too, so I haven't been through this before, just uncertainty, anxiety, worry, happiness, all the things. And there was the week leading up, every morning I would wake up half an hour earlier to the point that I think I was downstairs at 4 o'clock one morning.
Mm.
And my husband came down and he's like, you do realize you're waking up earlier every single morning? And I just, yeah. Usually though, that's the thing that if I wake up, it's usually because the minute I wake, and then I can't fall back to sleep. It's because the
Yes.
minute I wake up, it's like the brain is on, like so
Mhm.
on so fast that I can't turn it off. And I just have to, I usually will just come downstairs and start doing something.
so Tara,
but
try this because I've had that problem too, and I read about this technique that I've tried, and it has worked for me. And it sounds silly, but if you're you're lying there, think of a word, and then take each letter of that word
Yep.
and think of a word that starts with that letter, and just so kind of the longer the word, the better, I guess.
Mhm.
But the idea is just that you're kind of interrupting that
Mhm. Thought
that
pattern.
cycle, thought pattern, and giving yourself
Supercalifragilistic.
yeah, exactly. Yep. And you're so focused on like trying to trying
It's
to
like
come up
getting
with
rid
a
of the
word
hiccups,
that
right? Like when
it's
you're
like what
trying to get rid of the hiccups, you're supposed to like stare at a clock and look at the minutes or whatever. I've heard the same thing. I was just going to ask if everyone could give an example of something that you try to help yourself get back to sleep if your sleep is interrupted. And one of the versions of that same word game is, so let's say the word is Tara. So it ends in an A. So now my next word just has to start with an A. And then whatever that word, so then it's Advil. And then my next word has to start with L. And
Right.
it's kind of the same idea. For me, the thing that I go back to, and it's hard when I don't have to wake up at a certain time, but my husband does. I feel like I'm interrupting his sleep as well, but I turn an iPad on or a phone on with television that I don't have to pay attention to. So I go to like old school 90s sitcoms. And sometimes that helps, doesn't
Hmm.
always. What do other people do to try to go back to sleep?
So the sleep one for me is not the biggest issue, but I can tell you I'm listening to you guys and I'm remembering. So I'm going back to peeing because you can see where my brain is. But remember, I said I went to the doctor a couple years ago just to make sure like I didn't have something causing it medically. It ended up making me hate this doctor because his suggestion was when I really have to go, that I'm supposed to count backwards from 100 slowly. I've tried it a couple times and it just feels like having to pee really bad and also counting back from 100 really slowly. So I'm not a fan of it. It didn't work. It didn't interrupt my urge to have to go to the bathroom. So let's put it that way. So I'm hoping
That
these
is
things
so
work
bizarre.
correct.
Like,
So
sorry, but that's bizarre.
I'm
Is it based in
assuming.
science? Like, what
Well, I
is?
hope so. He's a medical professional, but who knows? Maybe he pulled it out of his ass that
I
day.
think
I
I
have no
think
idea.
he's gaslighting you.
Well, actually, didn't you just hit on what we are concerned about with the whole medical industry? That is kind of half of it, isn't it? They just
I
make
have
up.
to say, my doctors, whenever I am put to sleep for different medical procedures, they'll say like, oh, this anesthesia is going to feel like this. I'd like you to start counting. And it was more when I was a kid, but it was start counting backwards from 100. And my father just told me that he had a procedure done a couple weeks ago. And he was like, you're going to start counting backwards from 10. He goes, I'm going to have to start at 100. And he goes, Lisa, I made it to 7.
Yeah.
Strong stuff they got.
Long medicine right there. But
All right, so I deflected from the sleep. So have
that's okay.
group go back to the sleeping. What works for everybody?
I would say so. I have a slightly different problem. I probably about 10 years ago, I think I mentioned to my doctor that I had fallen asleep driving a couple of times. I had a really long commute, and it was a point where it was concerning me because I was like, I feel like I'm getting enough sleep. I don't know what's going on. So there's like a process where you have to do a sleep study at home to rule out sleep apnea. I don't have that. So then I did a in office sleep study overnight, and they hook all the electrodes up to you and put you to bed. And then the next morning they wake you up. You're up for 2 hours. Then you go down for like a 30-minute nap. Then you're up for 2 hours, 30-minute nap from like 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And at the end, so basically what it came down to was I don't go into REM sleep for long periods of time. So my sleep isn't restorative.
Mhm.
So they were like, basically, it's like excessive daytime sleepiness. And I think there is medication out there for it now. I mean, I've dealt with it my entire life. So I'm like, I don't really know that I would try medication because it comes with all these side effects. But the only thing that they could offer me 10 years ago was a stimulant. And I'm very sensitive to those. And I just felt like I had drank like a million cups of coffee, like was having trouble catching my breath. Like I really just hated the way that it made me feel. But the funny thing was they were like, you are asleep before we shut the door. Like when you laid down on the bed, you were asleep before we left the room. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like I got a bed, a pillow, a sound machine. I'm like, I knew what the assignment was. But yeah, so sleeping isn't really a problem for me. Sometimes if I'm feeling particularly anxious about something, I will have trouble falling asleep. My version of having trouble falling asleep is maybe like 15 minutes. But I did have I think it was a therapist I was seeing, her recommendation, which I've always gone back to, and I think it works. Just visualize relaxing all the muscles in your face one by one. And I'm always surprised at like, oh my God, my jaw is really tight. My neck is really tight. Why is my tongue on the roof of my mouth? Like, so as you go through that, and then like you guys were saying, it just disrupts you from whatever you were worrying about.
And probably forces you to relax. I sometimes do that when I'm really anxious. I'm like, put your shoulders down, like forcing yourself, because you hold so much of it
Yeah.
physically. Like you don't even realize it. Sometimes my shoulders will be up around my chin, and I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Yep.
So I guess that I could see that working.
But one thing I was going to ask you guys, do you guys have the, like, because I often do, like when I wake up in the middle of the night, I have to pee. Do you guys have the dream where you have to pee and you're looking for a bathroom?
Yes,
I have that
that's
one
the
a
whole
lot.
thing. That is like a current topic online right now because
Mhm.
somebody started talking about this, and like all these women were like, I have the same dream. You're looking for a bathroom, and then you find one, and it's either that the toilet is like super dirty,
Oh.
Yes.
or it's this weird like half door, or it's like semi-public, and then you're like, what am I gonna do? I need to pee, but there's all these people and whatever, and it's like this nasty bathroom, and that is
Nothing would
some
stop
kind of
me.
universal dream experience. What is like, what does that
Wow.
mean?
I don't know, but every time I wake up and I'm like, I'm glad I didn't find a bathroom because I would have just wet the bed. Like, I'm not okay with that either. But yeah, it's so funny. Yeah.
So Tara,
Like the
you
toilet's
weird.
overflowing and you're like, okay, I can't use that.
Yes.
right.
Yep.
Tara, you said you were waking up earlier and earlier recently. Do you like if you had woken up at like 3 in the morning, would you have still gotten up to go do something because you knew that you weren't falling back asleep?
Probably if I knew I couldn't. Like I think I can pretty quickly tell if I'm gonna be able to fall back to sleep or not. Like it depends on how quickly my brain turns on. Like if it's on at 100%, there's no falling back to sleep.
Yeah.
If it's like, I'll give this a try, I may try it for 15 or 20 minutes, and if it doesn't work, then I get up to be productive. But
Okay.
I have the opposite problem coming out of like a stressful emotional event in my life where I can't wake up. Like, not that I can't, but
Right.
that, when it is that time, it's like, "Oh, I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to." Snooze again, snooze again. It's like,
Yeah.
why last week I couldn't sleep,
Right.
and now my body is telling me it needs more sleep.
Yeah.
So,
Before I started taking the magnesium, I was waking up really early and I could not fall back asleep. And I keep my Kindle by my bed, and I would just pick that up and start reading because I also don't like the idea of waking everybody else in the house up. So I would
Mhm.
just sit there and quietly read. And sometimes it would relax me enough that I could fall back asleep, or other times I would just read 2 books a week because I was up at 4 a.m. reading. So either way, it was fine.
I've seen
So
a
I
couple.
read a story.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Lisa. Well,
No, go.
so I read a story recently about like how people would sleep in medieval times. I don't know how I found this story, but basically people used to, because now they tell us that we should be sleeping ideally 7 to 8 hours, and that's best for our circadian rhythms and all that. People used to sleep in like pre-industrial times in, they called it like two sleeps or something, and it was they'd go to bed at um like 10 or 11 and sleep until like 2, and then wake up for a while and then go back to sleep until like sometime after dawn. And in
Hmm.
that time in between, and they were just naturally, because they obviously didn't have alarm clocks or anything, so they just, their bodies would naturally wake up at that time. And during that time, they would actually be productive. They'd get up and check the animals, or like I think they would pray or do, or like just be reflective and have time to sit and think. And
Mhm.
I just found that interesting because it's like, okay, well, has something changed with, industrialization and the way that we live now that has totally changed our whole sleep cycle and circadian rhythms? Or
Yeah.
are we doing it wrong now? I mean,
Hmm.
maybe what is happening to you, Tara, like you're going to sleep for a while and then you're waking up, maybe that's right for your body. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't feel right, so I'm not saying that it is, but it's interesting as you were talking about that. I was like, oh, that reminds me of,
Maybe
reading.
maybe it's because of all the historical novels you read. So you're picking up on the old time stuff, and your body's like, I need to get up and take care of the horses at 3 a.m.
That's not the case at all though, because I don't know about you guys, but I am very sleep sensitive, meaning if I don't get enough rest, I'm pretty cranky.
Yeah, me
Throughout
too.
the day.
Which is why we
So
needed that
it has that
magnesium.
effect too. It's like I can't sleep because I might be a little like anxious or worrisome or, emotional. And then throughout the day, now I'm tired in addition to all of those things. So now they're exacerbated. And it's like
Mhm.
this cycle, you gotta break it. How do you
It
break
was-
it?
yeah.
That makes so much sense.
I was
Yeah.
trying to think about my mom used to struggle a lot with sleeping, and I 100% used to be very judgmental, and I would be like, "It's because you didn't do anything." Like, and she was sick for a really long time, but I
Mm.
was like, "You haven't moved out of your chair for several hours, so, like, your body's not tired." So, I would go into these different spurts of, like, I don't wanna have the same problem,
Mm.
so I'm gonna go work out extra. I'm gonna go move all the boxes. I'm gonna go, on 3 different walks. I'm gonna lift weights. I'm gonna do all the things and thinking that that's going to help. And
Make you tired and
yeah,
yeah.
and I am now realizing, I'm almost 50. I was just wrong. Like, she was going through these changes because I can remember this time period and her hot flashes and her, like, she would always turn on the radio, and
Mm.
she would listen to Delilah. Do you remember Delilah
Oh,
on
she's
yes.
still on.
She is
Yeah.
still on.
Yeah.
So, I was like, "Oh god, I really just am her daughter." Like, I am Nancy's daughter, and I have the same similar, like, routines. I try to have a better sleep routine. They tell you good sleep hygiene, and, um, sometimes I try, like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a shower closer to bed, and
Mm.
maybe that'll help," and I've
I
decided that I'm bad at sleeping.
I do think
I
you
don't
just
know if
had
it's
the most
necessarily
honest
bad, but
moment, though. No, I was
Hmm?
just gonna say, I think Lisa just had the most honest moment where she just said, like, "I was wrong."
Yep.
And if
Mhm.
you ever write a biography, I would like it to be entitled, "I am Nancy's daughter." That was so cool. I love that.
I definitely do that.
Basically,
Well,
what I was
There you go.
thinking too is like when you were saying like you wake up when you take the magnesium, you wake up like,
Mhm.
every hour and a half.
Mm,
That sounds too like it could have something to do with like your sleep cycles. Like
yeah,
they say like, every hour and a half, 2 hours, you're like your sleep cycles kind of adjust. And if you're waking up exactly at those times,
yep,
it sounds like your body, especially with nightmares and things like that, maybe you're like jarring yourself awake when your
yeah.
body is trying to get into the next deeper sleep cycle. So you're never
Mm,
getting there.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever getting there. And I
mm,
remember at different times, like after different surgeries, only once have I actually like told a doctor, like, I don't sleep. And I know I'm supposed to. Like after having the mastectomy, it was like, I need to rest. I need to get better. Um,
Mhm.
so there was like a short window of time where they prescribed something to help me sleep. And it actually didn't help now that I remember it, but it was
mhm.
at least something to try to attempt to fix it, but I don't know. Haven't figured it out yet.
I feel like we could probably talk about this
Yes.
forever, but one thing
I
that
know.
just came to my mind is that it's reminded me how lucky we all are to have each other and the reason that we decided to do this in the first place. Because if I was sitting on an island and didn't have you guys and had all of these things happening to me right about now, I think I'd be going crazy because I would think, of course, it's just me, there's something wrong with me. But it is so nice to hear that everybody's got their own little challenges and in different ways, and we'd love to fix each other and it's not going to happen, but it's just really valuable to me to be able to listen to you guys and have you be a sounding board for my issues. So I really appreciate that, and I hope that people listening can kind of take some solace in knowing that I'm okay. I've experienced some of that. I'm not crazy. Those are normal things. And I do think they're normal things. I think that yeah, I think that we get brainwashed into thinking that they're things that we're supposed to fix. And it would be great if we were more comfortable and we could do things a little more efficiently, like sleep and pee. But I think all of these things generally are normal for the age that we're in and the process that we're going through.
I
Absolutely.
now
agree.
this could be a whole other episode, but I'm gonna just throw a question out there. How come men seem to sleep fine?
True.
That
That's
could be a
that'll be
whole nother
episode 9.
episode.
Yeah.
maybe they know that we're worrying enough for them that they can
For
just
them.
sleep the night
Yeah.
away.
I'd be
I
curious.
would love,
Maybe they
I
are
would love to
sleeping.
hear from some of our
terribly.
listeners, you
Same.
know, too, about sleep. I think that, you know, I think we've all kind of talked about how every single one of us has a different experience and a different kind of relationship with sleep, we'll call it. But I'd love to hear more from, you
Mhm.
know, from our listeners. So listeners, please share
Mhm.
questions, your experiences with sleep, with peeing.
Potential solutions. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And also, if you're enjoying our podcast, please remember to like it, share it, tell people, leave us a review, help us reach other people. Our goal here is to kind of grow our community, and you know, we want more people to pull up a chair. So,
Absolutely.
Well
yeah,
said.
yes.
Yeah.
But thanks for listening, everybody. Again, we are friends. Period. Where nothing is off limits and everything is real. We're glad you pulled up a chair today.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone. See you later. Bye.
Everybody.